Greetings fellow gaming fans, this is Small Archangel and welcome to another update on the Dragon, the game. This is an early access title. I've done a couple of videos about this already. I'm still following the progress of it because I love anything Dragon related, quite honestly, and this one looks like it's got a lot of potential behind it. So quite a few changes have been implemented since I did my last video. I'm actually using the open beta, which is, you probably can't see the text on the screen clearly, it's version 09.02a, and that came out sort of earlier this month, November 2015. And as you can see, we do actually have the ability now to do a bit of Dragon customization. As things stand, you can't change the model of the dragon, so we haven't yet got the customization to be able to change any various parts of it, but we can change the colour scheme. So as you can see, if I click all the way across here, we can have various colours. There doesn't seem to really be the option to have it sort of very black or very white. It always seems to take on some colour. But we can sort of have it bright red or duller red or sort of pink, purple, blue, all sorts of really quite zany colours, and then you get the darker colours a bit more subdued down here. But as I say, I did try making a completely black one and didn't quite manage it somehow. So I'm going to go for purple because I like purple, and then you can see we can change the colour of the wings as well in a separate sort of field. And I mean, a lot of this stuff is sort of fairly placeholder really, and a little bit tweaky. It's a little bit difficult to get exactly what you want. A little bit of experimentation required. I'm going to go with that. That's cool for the moment. Okay, and then we can put our dragon name in here. There we go, just because it reminds me of Spyro a little bit. And then you actually have to go back. Options, we've not got a lot. Basically, you've got invert mouse options there, and then there is a co-op variant, which I haven't tried, obviously. And then when we hit play, we've actually got a map now, so you can see where this is heading. There's going to be these different places where you can start from at the moment, and it may be intentional that we can only start in one particular place and other places need to be unlocked, but you get a little bit of an information box telling you about these starting locations. But at the moment, and the map's going to be pretty big by the look of it, at the moment we have to start here in Ravenholt Forest, so that's what we're going to do. So slightly too quick to read. The text that scrolls up here is sort of goes by before you can read half of it at the moment. Okay, now I do find that, yeah, I'm looking at my own chin. You see, the dragon's looking straight up into the eye. There are a few little bugs and things. Of course, this is very alpha, so the dragon actually looks in the direction that you point your mouse. My cursor is visible on the screen to me as well, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to be. The graphics is a little bit trippy. I'm not quite sure why that is. It can be quite difficult to control this. You can end up looking sort of right underneath your dragon, through your dragon, what have you. We've got the same dragon models we had before, and the main bug I've come across is actually the texture of the ground disappearing almost as soon as I start moving around. And I'm sure that things aren't supposed to be quite as black and white as this. But you can see where we're going with this. We've got some much more high-res trees. We've got a deer, which you probably can't see, actually. It's just totally disappeared into these bizarre shadows, which, again, not quite intentional, I don't think. Oh, someone's hitting me with a pitchfork. Let's run in the opposite direction. I couldn't actually see them, but he didn't like me being that close. So you've got these little NPCs here, which we can probably set light to. There we go. They're not going to be very friendly with me when I've set light to them. And I honestly don't have a clue. You see, we've got a tail attack there. I honestly have no clue how to eat them anymore. It used to be you pressed E and you'd eat them, but I'm not sure if that works now. Eat it. No, that's not seeming to do any good there. So there we go. So I can kill stuff, but can I eat it? I'm not sure. And there's another little NPC there. So yeah, I'm not sure the graphics are going quite as they should. Also, even if I stop talking, you'll notice there is no in-game sound. There's no. A wolf, a very tiny wolf, is attacking me. I'll tail attack you. I will if I can quite get my... No, evidently you're so tiny I can't even hit you with my huge barbed tail. It's quite cute, actually. It's tiny. That's way too small for being a wolf. Must just be a dog, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's no in-game sounds. There's no music. There's no... nothing, really. So let's just take a bit of a flight so you can see the distant landscape there. I mean, this is very much still sort of beta within the alpha, and therefore I think there's water down here, like swampy type, but I don't think I think there's places where you can't actually get. So yeah, most of the ground texture's disappeared here. But we have buildings in here as well. I'm not sure that they are currently destructible. Probably not. But the other thing I wanted to show you was the cave that we actually spawned right next to, because lairs are now in a buggy, weird kind of way. They are in. So we've got this lair here, which I can't even get into. Oh, and there's a load of crystals and stuff, and I'm not sure if you're supposed to be able to look at that. What a weird jump. Quite odd. Oh, there we go. The last time I tried going in the cave, I had to mess about in there quite a long time before it actually zoned me in, so that worked rather better this time. Okay, so here I am, looking up my own rear end again, and here we are in the cave. So you can see there's some sort of little insecty things running around, and there's rats and stuff. And actually in the cave is really quite difficult to... I mean, I've got my mouse inverted, but trying to turn around is really difficult. You get stuck on these little crystals. I'm not quite sure what the crystals are for, but you get an impression of what's going on here, and I do love the idea of there being sort of caves where maybe you can loot, plunder, and oh my gosh, and fight massive great trolls. He's gone. Take that, pal. There we go. And they are hovering now. And again, I'd love to be able to eat these guys, but I have no idea I can hit them with my tail. I've looked for some sort of control options to try and find, and I'm just spamming a few keys to see if any of that does anything, and it doesn't seem to. But as I say, he used to eat, but the last time I did this, I couldn't get to eat those before they actually despawned on me, so that's not great. And then there's loads of crystals and all sorts of stuff around here, and rats and that, and I haven't been able to interact with anything other than blasting fire through stuff. I've struggled somewhat to sort of really... And if you've got any bigger than this, you would not be able to fit through these tunnels either, so I'm not sure how the growth thing is going to really work either. Currently can't eat anything, so can't actually grow in any case. But yeah, you can sort of see the way they're going with this. So I'm now lost. I don't actually know where this cave goes. I don't know, toast a rat? No, apparently rats are fire retardant, unless it's actually dead but just sort of sitting there. Actually, I think I might have killed it, but it's just sat there. That's what a roasted rat looks like. Okay, and there you go. Cornering, I can't turn around to save my life. What the heck? Okay, there we go. So, slight problem there with controlling myself. And, yeah, there. They've just despawned. And respawned. Yeah, basically how you're supposed to... And he just won't die. He's just standing there like I don't know. So there you go. So there are enemy NPCs now, and so many rats. My gosh, this place is absolutely overrun. Yeah, so there are enemy NPCs now that you can sort of toast, but as I say, I haven't figured out how to eat them. And we are, yeah. No, he's kind of... Oh yeah, he was quite easy to own. Oh my gosh. So I'm supposed to kind of follow the direction that the mouse is pointing in, so you follow your own dragon's head, which means you can strafe the fire pretty much where you want it to go, which is quite cool. But I do find, especially in caves, it is really difficult actually to figure out which way you're pointing. Oh, there's the exit to the cave over there. Now, whether we can get out of the cave or not, I don't know. Because the last time I tried... I kind of like the way the dragon runs. I do sort of like the dragon model, actually. But the last time I tried to get out of here, rather than zoning me out, I just kind of fell through the world. So I'm not quite sure how we're supposed to get out of the cave, really. Because, yeah, it's not really... It's not letting me fall out, but at the same time, I can't get out. So it might be a case of hitting respawn, really. except even that doesn't seem to work, so not quite sure what we're supposed to do at that point. Okay, so yeah, bugtastic, but these alphas tend to be, and as I say, this is a beta within the beta, so come on, respawn. Cannot respawn from in a cave, maybe, I don't know. Okay, so here we are back outside the cave, but only because I basically spawned back in again. We have a deer that's rotating, 2 deer that are rotating on their axis there. And generally I could take, there you go, a few steps and then, yeah, hey presto, the grass textures completely disappear. So let's take a bit of a look at flight. So, kind of missing the sound, obviously. We've got a heck of a lot of houses here. I'm going to try setting fire to one just to see if we can. It doesn't look like it, but there's a woman on the roof for some reason, so I might set fire to her. There we go, she's a goner. Okay. And, yeah, I find it a little bit difficult to know. Look at this. In fact, there are more houses than there are trees, so that's quite crazy. But as I say, this is all very sort of placeholder. It's all very new. My wings have also changed back to green from purple. It's kept my body colour but changed the wing colour back to some sort of default, which is interesting as well. This is the part of the map that's basically still is sort of travelable at the moment. So flying kind of works quite well. It's a little bit difficult to get hang of. I seem to be going sideways some of the time. And it looks like we've got no mini-map to speak of, but it looks like we've got sort of quite a large piece of world. And we actually have banking now, so if you press A or D, your dragon banks. But at the same time, if you don't keep pressing up. We don't seem to have a stamina bar that's visible. If you don't keep pressing up or forwards, your dragon's sort of... I see, it looks quite cool. So the flying, generally speaking, less buggy than it was to start with. But I do find controls on the ground are quite difficult to get the hang of. We've got some sort of swampy type thing going on here. And apparently dragons can swim, so we're going to check that out. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so everything's got a bit black and it's quite difficult to see what's going on because I can't actually see what my dragon's doing at all because I can't see the dragon. So that's a little bit on the buggy side. I think the dragon's swimming, but I can't actually see it, so I don't really know. So yeah, alongside the and let's see, can I get out of the? Yeah, we can take off when we go leave the water, but the water seems to have a great big shadow on it, so our shadow seems to completely just eclipse the water. There we go. See, that's what it looked like when they're swimming, and the only time I could see it, ironically, was when I actually left the water. So it's got quite a cool little swimming animation, but we didn't get to see it because that weird sort of shadow thing going on. So I don't know if everybody has that issue with the game, but I certainly do seem to. As we know, different setups can produce different interesting effects after all. But we've got quite a nice sort of LOD, if you like. We've got quite a nice sort of scenery in the distance as well. So it is shaping up pretty nicely. So the existing map does actually seem to be quite big. The playable space seems to be quite big and quite stable. The only time I encountered any problems with being kicked back to desktop, etc., was when I was stuck in a cave and couldn't actually get out of the cave. The only way I could get out of the cave was to exit the game. But apart from that, it seems to work pretty well. There's plans afoot to have multiple layers around, which I suppose the functionality of those will develop as time goes by. So maybe we'll have loot in there, maybe we'll be able to collect loot in there, or maybe we'll have to fight other dragons to gain control of them, or I don't know. But as things stand, there's no other dragons in game, unless you play co-op, of course. See, I can see another layer just down there, or two in fact. You can see them quite easily from, but the graphics are sort of very sort of placeholder. As I say, the main issue graphically seems to be the sort of, yeah, large sort of, the shadows seem to be a little bit OTT, to say the very least. I mean, you know, that's so black, I can't really see anything very much at all. And there's probably, oh look, I just crushed that with my tail. Okay, so we tail swiped that and crushed it, but I don't actually know to what end. I don't think we can really do anything with that. I don't think we can. No, I'm just trying out the controls, but I don't think, other than, you know, being able to crush it, I don't think it got us anywhere really. So, in fact, actually, I think with one tail swipe, it looks like I crushed every single crystal in the entire area, which is a bit weird. So there you go. And now they've grown back in midair, some of them. Oh yeah, look at that. They're all over the place. That's quite odd. Maybe they just kind of disappeared. And that was just I've no idea. Maybe they just bugged out. Not a clue. Yeah, I'm now running in midair, because it's confused. There we go, running in midair. And for some reason that made us respawn back at our initial starting point. So I have no idea. And there's that mini little wolf again. And still no grass textures. So I am going to keep watching this game's development. I'm going to keep playing with it. And I am going to keep doing little update videos on it as well. Because what's not to like? Dragons, we can fiery breath, flying around, lairs. It's, if you look at their, oh, like, yeah, I'm sorry, Fido, have I offended you again, pal? Can't we just be friends? No, maybe he's tried to be friends. I don't know. I think actually he's trying to bite my ass, but you know, it's not having much effect really. I'm you know, kind of armoured and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing little updates videos on this, because I quite like the roadmap and the development scheme, and where the you see, I don't even have a health bar. You're on a hiding to nothing, little wolfie. I don't even have a health bar at this point, so I'm not sure if I can even die. Let's test that out. So yeah, I'm going to keep playing with the mechanics, and I'm going to keep doing little update videos. So if you're interested in the development of this game without actually buying it, hey, that's what we're testing it for. So we can zoom right in here. See if you try and look at your dragon in the face, it's not going to work, because your dragon will always look where your mouse is pointing. So you can never get to see its spiky little face. Not very, there it sort of is. There. It's kind of cute, really. But I'm really not sure about the green and purple. That seems like a pretty bad colour combination to me. And I'm still being bitten by a wolf. Okay, guys, so thank you for watching. Do stick some comments in if you like. Tell me what you think. But I do think this game's got some potential, for all that it's buggy as all get out at the moment. We are going to keep following its progress with interest. So thanks for watching, and yeah, watch this space for some new updates.